What is up, everyone? Keith here, and we are back to another Escape from Tarkov video. So we already talked about a few different things on how to navigate the main menu and what everything does. We talked about how to gear up for a raid, and we also talked about how to make builds and save builds so you are able to gear up a little bit faster for raids, a little bit more of an advanced method. One that I found out recently. So go ahead and check out those videos if you need some help doing that. And yeah, so once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and press Escape from Tarkov. We're not gonna be talking about the PMC, your main character, yet. We're gonna get through that, but first I wanted to talk about the other thing that you could do, which is the scav. The scav rules are a little bit different than your PMC rules. We'll discuss them very shortly. But before we do, let's go ahead and press next. You'll be prompted to the map, and basically you can pick any of the locations, and depending on what you are looking for or what you want to do, or if you have a favorite map, go ahead and choose that. It doesn't really matter which map you go to. You could pick anyone. It doesn't matter if you've done like a million Shoreline raids and you never did a factory raid. If you like Shoreline, hey, just go to Shoreline. Nobody's stopping you. There's not a set number of times you could do a map. I should mention that your scav could be done every 10 minutes. So if you go on a scav and you die, or you extract, or you go MIA, or basically once you're done with the scav raid, depending on how it ended, regardless, you're gonna have another scav raid in 10 minutes. So you won't be able to actually do another scav raid until the 10 minutes have passed. Usually you're probably gonna be organizing your inventory, maybe go use the restroom between raids or something, and you'll probably have it back fairly quickly. So anyways, and also when you play as a scav, your gear is random. It's it basically just is random sets. There isn't like, I've seen different types of guns that you could have, from very high-end guns to very low-end guns, like a pistol. A high-end gun would probably be something like a FAL or something like that. Anyways, so once you do that, go ahead and pick the time. Again, there is morning and night usually. Check the weather condition. Something that's probably overlooked, but you probably don't want to go on a rainy map because it's a little hard to hear sometimes. Anyways, we don't have a map as a scav. If you do I'll show what happens when you do have a map as a PMC, but right now we're just going to be talking about scavs. So we're going to be talking about the Shoreline Extracts. So let's go ahead and get it to raid. I'll go ahead and cut ahead, and we'll talk about all the different extracts on Shoreline. Alright, so we are in a raid. It's a little bit raining, or actually it's raining pretty hard. I'll go ahead and turn on the volume because it may be a little bit hard to hear me. But yeah, we went ahead and spawned in. You can spawn in a lot of different locations. And yeah, basically when you spawn in, you are gonna want to go around the map and explore. I highly recommend that you do scavs in the beginning just to explore the maps. It's a good way to not really have the anxiety of losing your gear or gear fear. Basically what that is you're scared about losing your gear. Anyways, since we are up here, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the different extracts. So one thing that you probably should know is how to actually find out what is your extract. You probably saw a glimpse of it in the beginning when the raid started, but you're probably like, oh, how do I bring that up? So if you double tap O, you're gonna bring up basically the scav extracts that you can go ahead and go to during this raid. There are multiple scav extracts, and depending on what I guess the game wants to give you, basically it's where you spawn is gonna tell you like where your extracts are. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and be showing all the different extracts. Alright, so we are at one of the extracts. So this one is called Road to Customs. Road to Customs is actually also a PNC extract, but we're just discussing the scav extracts, but that's something I should mention. So basically, if you run to here, you're going to start extracting. You're going to get a little countdown. We'll probably show it a little bit later, but you get a little, I believe it's like 8 seconds. Some extracts are longer than others, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So if you come here and you start extracting, but since it is in my extract, you know, I'm not going to start extracting. And there's a little scav over there. Little scav buddy. Alright, so yeah, basically one way to find out this one is just to follow the road all the way down. You're gonna see a road eventually, probably, once you're playing. If you follow it all the way down, you're gonna get to this extract. If you go in the woods, probably should look out for that tower as a reference point. There's also another tower on the other side of it, which is like a balloon. I'll try to point it out a little bit later. But from that tower, basically just go away from that other balloon. I'll go ahead and show it. If you go ahead and find this tower also, you know you're in the right path if you're following the road. I'm pretty sure these places have names, but I don't know them. So yeah, just follow the road and you're basically hit road to extract. So let's go ahead and take a look up here. That's actually the other thing that I was talking about. It's kind of like the balloon tower over there. We got this tower. So basically, if you see that, just continue going to see this, and then you're pretty much almost there. It does take a little bit of, you know, playing to actually find them. I'm gonna try to help you guys out and put a map up to basically distinguish what those points are that I'm pointing out, and I'll try to make it a little bit more, I guess, user friendly. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump to the next extract. Alright, so the next extract that we are going to discuss is South Fence Gate. So South Fence Gate is basically over here. It's kind of where the fence meets the rocks. You basically just run up, I believe it's around here. Like if you hug this kind of rock, you start extracting. Again, to check your extracts, make sure you double tap O, unless you rebounded it to another key. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some reference points. Basically, you can run up on the fence, or run up the rocks, but there is a house over there. You probably could barely see it. There's a house on the hill. That is one of the reference points. Another reference point is, I guess you can follow the power lines all the way down, and you'll find it there. That's huge. There's kind of like a huge building over there. That's a resort. And yeah, basically, like I said, you'll start picking it up a little bit as you play. So basically, if you find this house on the hill, just know you have to continue going. Look for the power lines and basically follow it where the rock and the fence meet. And let's see if we can get a closer look at this house on the hill. Yep, there it is. Alright, so use that as a reference point. If you know where a resort is, which is like the biggest building here in Shoreline, then you're on your way. Alright, so the next one we are going to talk about is actually in the resorts. So as a reference, there is the house on the hill, and then South Fence was in that direction. You could kind of barely see the power lines, but yeah. Anyways, there's actually 2 extracts in here for scavs. So let's see if we could go ahead and make it inside without actually dying. So this is actually a very popular place to come in Shoreline. I won't talk too much about it. So yeah, I'm in a pretty hot zone right now. So I gotta be careful here. But anyways, this probably isn't the best entrance. It's more so like an exit. A little tip there. Don't use that as an entrance. Kind of just use that for exits. because you kind of have to run all the way here. And if someone was in here, they would have just basically just destroyed me. Anyways, you would just come down here, and basically this is an extract. It's kind of like, you know, that little treadmill. Basically, once you come down here, you're gonna start extracting. And this one is called Rwing Gym Entrance. So Wing Gym Entrance. That's what it is, but it's Rwing. Since we are here, if you know where this is, I'm gonna go ahead and use this as a reference point, and we're just gonna go ahead and continue. The other one will actually be, again, I have to be careful here because there might be some players around. But the other one is going to go ahead and be a little bit down here. And once you go down here, you're going to go ahead and just want to go downstairs. Go downstairs once again. And the extract is right here. Basically, you just walk down here and you'll start extracting. It's kind of like more so right here. I think it triggers right here. Basically, if you see that little like exit sign, even though you could go out this is also another way to come in. You know, one of the sides here, one of the basement. Boom. Just start extracting like right here. So this one is called Adm Basement. That's another one of the extracts. So there's also another way here that you could go ahead and enter from. There's also another entrance there into resort. And yeah. And basically this is kind of like a theater area. If I open this door, the theater's right here. Boom. So, you know, just to, you know, come down here, and the extract is more over here though. So make sure you run this way. Alright, anyway, so that is that one. Alright, so we are at another one of the scav extracts. So as a reference point, there's kind of like a town here. There's also swampy waters. And yeah, this is basically like a swamp area. But basically, if you find this little lonesome house that kind of has no neighbors, as you see, those other ones are kind of closer to each other. You basically could just go behind it. Now, this is actually one of my extracts, so it's going to start giving me a timer. You basically just kind of need to come back here. It says stay at extract point, which we don't want to do. But as you see, a timer will start counting, and you basically have to wait here 7 seconds, and you're basically just going to extract, and whatever you have on you is going to be taken with you. So, yeah. We'll talk about, you know, actually extraction and all that later. So, yeah. As a reference point, we are at the other side of the map now. Resort is back that way, which is where we talked about the other two extraction points. South is basically you just follow the power lines, and Road to Customs is all the way on the other side of the map. So yeah, we've done a bit of traveling. So let's go ahead and continue going. I guess we'll go ahead and just show the next extract, which again, it's actually also one of my extracts. It's pretty close. It gave me two pretty close ones actually. But another one of my extracts is actually towards this other, I guess, town. This one is, I guess, downtown, let's say. So once you come here, basically the other extract is going to be right here. Again, if you actually double tap, you'll see your extracts. Doing house fence is over there, and this is the dead end. So basically, what you have to do is just go in front of that little truck. Last time I almost extracted that. But basically, just go in front of that truck, and it'll start extracting. Some of these actually you have to get pretty close to, but as long as you go to where I said, like the general area, and walk a little bit, you're start extracting. So like I said, it does have a little bit of timer. The next one is pretty close still, so we'll go ahead and just continue talking and walking and talking, and running and talking. Well, actually more walking without understanding that. Which I guess very quickly I should mention that your scav and your PMC actually have different stats. We talked about skills briefly, and you know, their stats, I guess. They basically are their own two separate people. So you can level up your scav also. You know, it doesn't really have that much of a purpose, but I just wanted to point that out. Anyways, the next one is actually right here. So basically this one is going to be, well, actually this is a PNC one at the tunnel, but, you know, again, we're not really talking about PNC extracts. But basically if you come right here to this little side road, so this one is actually called the Rwing Road. When you are here, it's just right next to the tunnel. It's, yep, you stand right here and you'll start extracting just like any other extract, and that's Rwing Road. The last extract that we're going to discuss is a little bit down the ways that way. There's a little island over here. But yeah, basically the last one is Lighthouse. So let's go ahead and cut ahead there. Alright, so here we are for the last one. There is a gas station. We'll use that as kind of like as a reference point here. And basically, if you follow the road, this is also the road you could follow to get to Tunnel, which is over there, or Rwing Road, which is also over there. If you, oh, hello, Scav. If you continue following this road, it's gonna eventually lead to like kind of a checkpoint over there. And if you continue following it more that way, that's where Road of Customs is gonna be. But yeah, anyways, if you find this, hello, Scav friend, come here. Alright, anyways, if you continue taking this road down here, it kind of splits off into, I guess, three. One to go up to the gas station. If you continue following this road, you're gonna hit a kind of like a construction area, and then another checkpoint, and then if you make a left, it's gonna take you to Road to Customs. But if you come on our right here, you're gonna get a building where you could, you know, loot or whatever. And then we're actually gonna see the lighthouse pretty soon. And basically the same concept as the other extracts. Once you get to the lighthouse, you're gonna start extracting. And yeah, again, I should also mention that this is a PNC extract, but we're not talking about that, at least in this video. I'll go kind of more in detail and talk about those extracts. But yeah, there's the lighthouse here. It doesn't really look like a lighthouse per se, it just kind of looks like a branded building. But yeah, this is the lighthouse extract. Once you go there, you're going to start extracting. You actually kind of need to walk inside there. It's pretty cool in there. There's nothing really in there to loot, but you know, discussion for another video. And that's kind of like the construction site I was talking about. So yeah, Shoreline is one of the biggest maps currently out. I don't know if it's gonna stay like that in the future, but yeah, it's a pretty big map, and it kind of takes a while to get from one side to the other. So something to keep in mind. So yeah, that's basically all the extracts. I'm gonna go ahead and run back to my extract over there, and yeah. Alright, so we are almost at extraction, and kind of a few things I want to talk about is if you press O, it's gonna show you the time. Once you get under 10 minutes, it's gonna start ticking red. That means you have to get out in the next 10 minutes, or you know, basically if you're on a scav, you're gonna lose all your stuff, and if you're on your PMC, you're also gonna lose all your stuff. And the last thing that I want to talk about is, you know, what happens when you actually extract, and also you can use any of the extracts that you have on your list. So it doesn't matter if I use this one or the other one that I went to previously. So anyways, once you do extract, you're gonna be taking out the map, and you basically, you know, survived, and you're gonna be prompted to this screen. So that was actually a pretty long raid of me doing nothing besides showing the extractions, and that's why I got a run through. I talk about the different types of, you know, I guess statuses that you could get in a raid. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that probably in a different video. So that is basically all the Shoreline extractions for a scav. If this has helped, I hope that you learn them and that you are doing more scav raids on Shoreline, because now you feel more confident on being able to extract I know sometimes I go into a raid and I'm like, oh no, where's this extract? I don't know. And, you know, I start panicking and, you know, start getting stressed. So hopefully this helped you out. And, yep, I'm going to continue doing the rest of the scav extracts for the other maps. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And then we're going to be discussing the PMC extracts pretty soon. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, that's going to go ahead and be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.